Hey, today I'm gonna remake the remake of the Playmates 1987 Shredder, and then at the end I thought I might as well make the mysterious fifth turtle from the Archie comics of the same era. So I have this Shredder is from the remake, and there's a lot of differences, but first I have a deburring tool, so I'm cleaning up the sword there. I take off his cape to get him ready for paint, and the first step is to cover everything with a matte acrylic varnish, and I'm just doing a thin coat, and this is going to help the paint stick to the figure. Well, this is going to stick to the figure, and then the paint is going to stick to the clear coat I just put on. Yeah, and now I go with the black. I'm gonna get rid of his brow is part of his mask. That was a weird thing about these figures. But this one, the head is actually even bigger than the normal one that they base it off of. And his muscles are a little smaller, which is weird. It makes him look more like a Funko Pop almost. It's hard to tell, and I just painted his head black a bit so it's looks smaller, and I'm covering the places I'm going to paint gray with black, but I also paint his underwear that were on top of his pants. And I didn't paint the wraps on his boots or paint the boots black, but in the cartoon they're black, but I like them purple, and I just dry brushed some black on them to bring out some of the details. Now I have hockey stick tape, and that's what I'm going to use to make his shirt, and it's like a fabric tape, and it's for hockey sticks. Hockey shin pad tape is different. That's like a yellowish clear plastic, but I cut and folded some under. Those are going to be the flaps so that they're not sticky on that part, and then I decided it'll be easier to paint that while they're like on the table rather than on him because they're loose, and I'd end up painting his legs, and I just paint them black. I don't want to paint them gray. Yeah, so then I just cover him with the tape, and I put those on. I put another one wrapped around, and now I'm painting all the tape that's on him with the gray. I mix some gray with black because I want it a little darker, but yeah, it doesn't have to be a specific gray. Just get the color you want. Now I have silver, and I use this silver a few times, but every 6 months or so. Either I didn't shake it enough or it's gone bad because it's old. But then I added some of the regular silver I usually use into that, and it's just like a $2 craft acrylic silver by DecoArt, and I'm covering all the silver parts in silver. When I did the turtles a couple weeks ago, I did their weapons gray and not silver because in the cartoon silver is represented by gray. But now I'm putting a black wash. It's just a little bit of acrylic black mixed with water, and I'm getting in the cracks and the details of the swords, one sword, and that's because just getting in the cracks is not going to stop it from fitting in his hand, or it's not going to get scratched when you put it in his hand. Then I took some black hockey stick tape, just a thin strip, and I wrapped it around his waist to be his new belt. The belt that was on him I put on my original figure that I have in the corner there, so he gets a new belt, so that worked out. Now I have I mixed some white with the silver, like the whole gray and white thing. I want to do some dry brushing on some of the sharper parts of his weapons and armor and I mix it with white to kind of bring out the gray in the silver, if that makes sense. So they look a little closer to gray than just straight silver. A little bit of both, I guess. Yeah. So then I saw that Shredder, I thought I was done, but he needed some more work, and I was going to be using white, and I was like, she's got white armor. Oh, the mysterious fifth turtle in the Archie comics from 30 or 40 years ago, it's April. Spoiler alert. Sorry, but I don't think you're going to go back and read those 40-year-old comics. You wanted to know now. That's why you clicked this video. But I cover her with the matte acrylic varnish, and I'm just using an old raft figure. And the figure I got used, and his arm was glued because it came off. So that's why I had to cut it off, because it was glued in a weird position like this. And so I'm gonna glue it back on in a normal position. And I'm just covering all her wraps and her bandana with white for the first coat. And Shredder's eyes, he had pupils, but he didn't have any whites in his eyes, and it was fine on the older toy, but because his head's so much bigger, it looked even weirder. So I painted the whites in his eyes. Well, I painted the whole eye white, and then I'll go and do pupils after. But now I'm painting some cinnamon brown on her shell. I'd gone with some dry brush of raw sienna which I put on her chest because there were some scratches and stuff I wanted to cover up, and she'll match better the brothers that I did the other day, or well, a couple weeks ago. Now I have a daffodil yellow. It's like a light kind of pastel-y muted yellow that I'm dry brushing to bring out all the details on the chest and the shell, and I think that looks pretty cool. And I left the black of the shell in the cracks so it gives that extra dimension and depth. Now I have the white that I was using, and I just mixed a little bit of yellow and brown to get an off-white so that there's a little bit of distinction between the white of her eyes and the white of the mask, hopefully. And so I got a little messy there, but I can just go with a toothpick and kind of scratch off any extra spots that I got on her skin. And since I painted the skin on the other ones, I thought I'll leave her the same color that Raph was, and then they made the new Raph a totally different color. But then I did the pupils in Shredder's eyes. I avoid doing pupils as much as I can, because especially at the end of the project, because I did all this work and it looks good, or great even, and then I messed up the pupils and they have one eye goes this way, one eye goes that way. They end up looking more like me than they're supposed to. But I cover the April turtle with matte acrylic varnish to seal everything up, and then I have some white hoggy stick tape that I had folded into thirds, so it's not, there's no sticky side, but then I glued it around her waist to be her belt because I wanted it thicker, where Shredder is already thick with his clothes. I just wrapped it around like twice. And so that's the, it's not a before and after, but that's the original one. The original one is way better than the remake one. That's what, if I like my set of turtles I did, if they were the original ones, I wouldn't have painted them, but the remake left a lot to be desired. So coming up soon, you might have saw a weird turtle statue in the background. That's my own turtle, and that'll be the next video, but not that. I have to remake him because I made some mistake, one little mistake at the beginning that messed him up. So until then, remember, always keep your head up. Peace.